watching at home, welcome to Adelaide Eternal's round 2 of the Adelaide Eternal Vintage Challenge for August. I'm Sarven McLinton. In the booth with me is Beckett Wolfe.
Smooth g'day guys to you all.
Beckett is in this match. He is on the right-hand side of the screen. He is the king of the hill at the moment. He won round 1. He's on to round 2 as well, so we're just going to follow his journey for a little bit. And on the left we have Tokhi, and he is on like a Lavinia tempo-esque type control deck, so maybe reminiscent of our last vintage event, which Steve Steamroll Low Smith took down.
Did Steve have red though? I can't quite remember. This is an Esper control deck, but he's running cards like Painful Truths, and mainboard Stony Silence, and 3 Swords to Plowshares, 4 Misstep. So he's trying to certainly play a card advantage role, and play a control role, with the win cons being Monastery Mentor, and even Kambal, which sort of isn't quite as powerful, but it's a similar sort of thing. You play Kambal and then play a bunch of Gitaxian Probes.
It's quite a lot of very powerful 3-drops in the form of Teferi, Kambal, Monastery Mentor, Narset. These are all pretty nasty big threats. Do note that there are 4 mental missteps in this one. This event was just before the restriction of mental misstep, plus a whole host of other cards that, obviously we're not going to go over. But if you were going to play this one, you can sleeve up Spell Pierce in its place, and given that you have access to black, you can also sleeve up things like Thoughtseize, which are very, very nice replacements and make you a little bit better against the shops matches. So let's have a quick switch over to your list. This one is relatively brief. You can check it out over in round 1, but you're essentially an Oath combo deck, right?
Yep.
And that's that. This is also Beckett's face on a slide, talking to you all about how he is one of our Hall of Heroes. Let's move on.
Let's go down to the match, guys.
Looks like
I'm on the right, Raj is on the left.
And this is your hand.
It's a decent hand. It's got a Forbidden Orchid and a land, but no Oath.
Awkward Orchard, right?
Awkward.
Yeah, so you can Time Walk turn 1, but that does nothing, right? Just spins your wheels.
Well, especially in my deck, Time Walk's almost part of the combo, so
you don't want to use it.
I really don't like doing it, although there is a Yawgmoth in hand, so
yeah,
it's not the worst, but Preordain I think makes the hand good.
Actively
good.
Because you're very, very happy to not try to go busted, right? Turn 1, Tropical Island into Preordain. You don't have to go busted turn 1. You can just set up for a nice, decent turn 2.
Plus I don't know what I'm against.
I guess, given that it's round 2, you probably haven't had a chance to scout anyone and see what people are on. And there is a mulligan here, but again, we were talking in the last match that the mulls to 6 in Vintage with the new mulligan rule are actually not that punishing. Oh, mull to 5? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's brutal. Maybe you are going to be staying in this hill. Maybe you are going to be...
But you can just hit A-Call and Lotus Narset or something like that and be absolutely fine.
Vintage is so different. When you go to 5 and your hand is
it's a lot easier to snowball in Vintage, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can snowball off less cards, so mulligans aren't as brutal.
I was thinking of a hand of 5 that looks something like Lotus, Land, Monastery Mentor, Gitaxian Probe, Preordain. That's a great hand. So good. This is going to go absolutely busted turn 1, and you're just going to have 3 tokens go to your turn and trigger the tokens again the next turn. Attack for a lot.
Well, from memory, game 1's a good game.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good to know.
I can't quite remember.
Even though going down to 5, we've still got a real game on our hands.
Yeah.
So this is the resolution of the London Mulligan. If you haven't seen it before, it's just putting the cards on the bottom so you don't shuffle them back into your deck like
so he's
Commander.
Got
Narset and Lotus Petal. And so is there a misstep? Yeah, that'd be brutal to misstep your opponent when you're on 5 and then you use one of your cards as a misstep. So
top from Beckett.
Sometimes you have to use that just to protect, say, an A-Call or something. So top is pretty convincing. Is Lotus Petal to Cantrip, is it?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Oh, Cantrip, yeah. And misstep. Oh, man. This is... Oh, no, misstep back. Yeah.
But is that even that good? Because he's already lost a card.
Yeah.
Lotus Petal is, I think, very good in Vintage. I'm playing Lotus Petal, actually. But it's more for turns that you want to absolutely crush, and you're not going to crush turn 1 after multi-5.
And look how much he respected the value of the mental misstep to protect his own preordain. He didn't misstep your preordain. He held it so that he could preordain, protect his own preordain from a misstep, because he knew that if he didn't get a land, he's gone, because he's just used his lotus petal, his mini lotus.
I agree with that, although arguably I would have instinctively misstepped his misstep to resolve my preordain, which would burn me out of missteps anyway. But I agree. He could be also holding up misstep for like an A-call or something like that.
Well, we're not going to have to worry about too many of those battles anymore, are we?
No, we're not.
Yeah, there's just going to be one. And I'm interested to see how that changes the landscape of the format, whether or not the single misstep means that people are more likely to sleeve up things like Fast Bond, Deathrite Shaman, all of these, Sensei's Divining Top, all these kind of one-drops that have always been good. They've always been very, very good, but they have never been oppressively good when misstep has been a 4 of. The misstep's just so easy to
probe there, revealing awkward, Yawgmoth's Will, Time Walk, Memory's Journey, Mox Ruby.
Yeah, nice.
It is nice, although
you'd like it.
It doesn't do much.
You'd like a Oath of Druids off the top of the deck. That'd basically make your hand absolutely bonkers, right?
Yeah.
Yep, seems fair.
Yeah, just something sort of proactive, even a Sylvan Library. Although I think I'm playing Sylvan in the sideboard. Ponder. Okay. Yeah,
Ooh.
So I went top. So I topped misstep.
Ponder, yeah.
Yeah, so I drew the misstep off my preordain, and then I had Ponder on top.
And the odds of hitting Oath are, when you've used the Ponder to turn into 3 more cards, you've looked at 4 possible cards of the deck, and the odds of there being an Oath are pretty decent. Did you just try and fake out? Here's the Oath. No Oath.
It could be Regrowth, and I'm wondering if I want to regrowth the Ponder.
Well, Regrowth has the word Oath in it, so no. It's pronounced the same, maybe not spelt the same, but as a homonym, it kind of still works. The joke.
Yeah, I might be thinking about if I want to regrowth, or if I want to go Time Walk, regrowth, Time Walk, which is a lot of wheel spinning, but it's not. It's not awful if you've got a regrowth to back it up.
I think you don't want to regrowth the Ponder just because providing a token to your opponent actually creates a clock. Oh, this is actually really punishing, right? When you were even contemplating regrowing back,
it might not be regrowth. I'm just spitballing. I could have maybe done a fakie.
Yep.
But yeah, maybe I was even thinking about whether or not I want a Time Walk. Although Time Walk's pretty bad there, so
yeah,
I doubt it.
Well, we know for sure it's definitely not Lotus, because that would have been an insane with that selection of cards right there into Lotus, Yawg-Will.
Oh, maybe
Time Walk, Yawg-Will. Really? Then you'd go for it, right? You'd go like Lotus, Time Walk, Yawg-Will, Lotus, Time Walk, and you'd have 2 turns coming up.
I think I'm not gonna like go down too deep down that rabbit hole until I actually know that it is. If it's Lotus, I'm happy to try to justify it. I do remember this Narset being really brutal though.
Yeah, Narset finds because you've pondered, so you know what the next card is, and you knew it was the land. Yeah, because it's setting up.
I think maybe I don't know. Maybe I was setting up for a Yawgmoths this turn to be able to go like Yawgmoths. Like Time Walk and then Yawgmoths.
But then the Narset changed that, didn't
Ponder
it?
Preordain, yeah. And now
the Stony Silence changes it too.
Yeah, Yawgmoths is like not good because all I'm trying to do is get value of cantrips. But the Stony Silence, it switches off my Mox Ruby, which is an off-color Mox, and it switches off his on-color Jet. And I don't really need that much mana, so I don't think the Stony Silence. We even talked about it at the time. I think we were like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll assume that he also revealed that card off the Narset there. So I'll assume it just wasn't on camera. But one interesting point
is the Stony Silence what's revealed?
Oh, that was a previous turn, but he Narset it again, so there was obviously revealed that, but it would have been off camera, or said what it was or something off camera. So one thing that's really interesting is the nature of Narset in the format. We've looked at how powerful it is. Oh, is this a Treasure Cruise? So Treasure Cruise and Yeah, so draw 3 cards from... So I didn't realise there were already 7 cards in the bin.
I know, right?
Oh, that's
how me
quick...
either. That's why I was counting.
That's what happens. Yeah, what? did that just happen? Yep, that's vintage. So what he needs to do is actually leverage it into something, like a Thoughtseize. So
Misstep, okay.
Yep, that's fair.
It wasn't Lotus and it wasn't Recruit.
Mm.
But we didn't go too deep down the rabbit hole.
Yep, that's fair.
Of what ifs.
Yep, that's fair. And if we look to the potential for Misstep being replaced in decks going forward with Spell Piercers, Flusterstorms, and or Thoughtseizers, it would have still played a very similar role there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I've added Gitaxian Probe to my list and a Misdirection or something like that.
Yeah, Misdirection seems nice for
and another Mind Break Trap.
Yeah, I love a Mirrored Break, Greg. They're so good.
I think they're really good right now as well. I've got one in my sideboard already, and I think I've just moved it to mainboard and have another sideboard slot open up.
Man after my own heart. Was that just Painful Truths?
I know.
I love me a Painful Truth. And you paid it with Esper Mana as well. This is so good. Painful Truths. I'm really, really high on Painful Truths in Vintage, mainly because it is, in fact, another draw 3 that is relatively cheap and cannot be countered by Pyroblast. It's fun.
So I've got quite a bit of discipline here on my Time Walk. I'm still not firing it off.
You're not under pressure, right?
I'm not. I'm tempted every turn, but really it's not correct, I don't think.
It wouldn't leverage into anything.
It's not exactly. I want to get something out. And to be honest, now I've got 4 mana. It's really good to be able to go like Oath of Druid's Time Walk.
Yeah, nice.
Or like lead with a Time Walk.
And that's the bait spell.
People counter Time Walk all the time.
Yeah, and then if they don't counter it, you play the Oath.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's pretty strong. So Jace Vryn's Prodigy is the first actual threat that is going to force you to do something. That's why you're actually going for it now, right? You're going for a cheeky little peek with the Time Walk. Another Orchard.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it was just an Explore.
Yeah. Because I had a land in hand, and I've still got Yawgmoth's Will. It's such a shame about that Narset, because how powerful would it be to go Yawgmoths, and then play like 2 cantrips.
Ponder, Preordain, and Time Walk.
Yeah, that's right.
And then just try and find an Oath.
Oh, I couldn't do both because of the Stony Silence, but I'd be able to surely like Ponder, find another land, Time Walk, or something like that.
But if you're finding lands off of Ponder, it's probably not great.
Oh, I'll pay that.
So the Stony Silence is... I mean, it's not doing a huge amount, but it's doing more than looks like it is.
Just because I've got a Yawgmoth's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the
Jace Vryn's Prodigy flipping here.
The real one.
So Jace gets a flashback. Oh, is he going to flashback Painful Truths? This is going to be so good if he does.
He's going to flashback.
I love it.
Treasure Cruise.
I think it's correct to flashback Painful Truths here.
You might be right
because it just doesn't.
And I finally find a target for Memory's Journey. So I get to target his Painful Truths with my journey.
Yeah, so he's actually no. Jace Vryn's Prodigy doesn't target anything. All right, it says you can cast. Oh,
I'm pretty sure it does.
Does it target?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you may play a card from your graveyard.
No, it's not like Kess.
It's not Kess. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Kess, wasn't I? Yeah, so you target the card, but what you can do is play it as if it was in your hand, so you can return some cards like Gush, Force of Will. Not that Force of Will is a good example, but yeah, Gush, you can return islands to pay for it.
It does target. So yeah, you're like, he didn't have to tap the mana, so he gets a slight mana advantage, but I'm pretty happy to be able to use Memory's Journey effectively. I mean, it was almost like countering it.
In a way,
3 mana draw spell and
with a bad card
and with an awful card, and I've still got it in my bin, so it's still actually doing what I want. It's actually better now because it fills up my bin for treasure cruises. Not that they're good with a Narset out. Let's call it dig through time then. It's cheaper.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay 2 mana on the critical turn, right?
That's right.
Pay 1. It's nice. Well, your hand's getting actually quite big here, even though Narset's been out.
Keep in mind, this was a Mull to 5 and then a Lotus Petal that, and I
almost didn't get a land,
That's right.
So here's Regrowth. It has Oath. So how interesting has Narset been in the match before and this match? It basically never leaves the battlefield. It's just there to stay.
That's right. It didn't. It never left the battlefield. I killed him before I killed the Narset.
Yeah. Yep.
So another lackluster Time Walk, but And I don't cast the Time Walk because I don't want to give him 1/1s.
Yeah.
Because the Jace is technically a threat, although again, I've still got the Memories Journey, so I can do the same thing I did last turn again. So I'm not under heaps of pressure, so I'm just happy to play it a bit patient. I always want Time Walk in hand. Regrowth is there to get back Time Walk, so that's just, well, I might as well get Time Walk.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I'm still playing it, pretty patient. At least I'm trying to. It's a bit of that hoop links, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have fired off the Time Walk in response to the Jace, because there's only so much Jace can do if I've got Memories Journey. I should have maybe seen... I saw the line when it mattered.
Yep.
But maybe if I knew before that I had that line available to me, I shouldn't have Time Walked. And just not blinked because, it didn't do anything. I mean, look at it now. Like, it doesn't... It doesn't make a difference.
So he's reading Memories Journey now just to see exactly what happened.
Because he just got burnt by it.
Yeah. Important to do that when you.
Well, that's it. You look at a combo card like that, and you're like, it's part of his combo. It's just some random weird card. It doesn't actually do anything.
So he's cracked 2 fetch lands, which almost always indicates you're going to delve, right? When someone just cracks both fetch lands, and you're like, oh, okay, you're obviously filling your graveyard. You're not actually doing some, you're not going to cast a Preordain and don't want to shuffle away the other potential card. That's.
And here we go. He's got Treasure Cruise is the card he's got.
Yeah.
So he's targeted it, and Jace dies, goes to the bin, which fills it up even more. But I've still got the Journey, so I can shuffle the Treasure Cruise back in, and I can also shuffle 2 lands back in to make him.
So and
hardcast Force of Will.
This is a hardcast Force of Will to counter the Memories Journey, which is targeting that, as you said, Treasure Cruise.
Yeah.
And he exiles.
Land, Jace.
Land, Jace, and then 1, 2, 3. And the Stony Silence is shutting off the Mox Jet, so he's 1 short?
Yeah, he needs the Mox Jet.
Oh, no.
So the Force of Will resolves.
Oh, no.
So his Treasure Cruise has got flashback.
But he can exile the Force of Will. Can he? No. I
think it's still 1 off.
Oh, yeah. It's
Force, Jace, land, and then tapping 2.
And tapping 3, I think it is. 7. There's always 1 off. Oh, no. That's a misstep. That's awkward, but game continues. Oh, that's always punishing, right? When you do that thing, like, 1 mana off, and then you you draw the land. Just like your deck is just,
so I go Time Walk again, and he goes another hardcast Force of Will. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it was a hardcast Force of Will on the Time Walk. So your hand now consists of Yorg Will, but then a bunch of cards we don't know. I see a Pearl, I see a Force of Will. Mindbreak Trap, Preordain. Yeah, so quite a bit of your hand is shut off by them.
And notice I didn't force his force, because again, my Time Walk was pretty lackluster, but I'm happy to force a real threat. So
and you're happy to just get rid of the Force of Will. You just go, you can counter my Explore.
Yeah. And I get to... I'm not sure what it's off screen, but I'm probably pitching some cantrip, which doesn't do anything with an Acid out. The scary thing is, none of my cantrips will do anything.
Do you have any answer for
the rest of the game? I've got Assassin's Trophy main, but it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, it feels rough, doesn't it?
Especially, I mean, his basic's already out, but especially if they get to search the basic.
This is a hard cast Mindbreak Trap.
Yeah.
The best kind of Mindbreak Trap.
On what? On Lavinia.
Lavinia, yeah. I guess,
it's a threat.
You just have to.
I'd rather him have a 1/1, yeah.
So 1/1 with no abilities rather than a 2/2 with a very relevant ability.
That's right.
And the relevant ability, maybe not as relevant now, because you can Force of Will, because you've got 5 lands out.
That's true. Although it stops like Lotus, and other Moxen. And,
yeah, very true. Well, but Null Rod's already out. I mean, Stony Silence is already out anyway.
That's true. It stops.
So maybe Lavinia doesn't actually do much. It's hard call. It's just a hard call there. Exactly.
And it's also Precious Life Total.
So this is Teferi. Teferi...
Does it do anything? It bounces O's.
Well, it negates your Force of Wills in hand, so you have to...
Bouncing his Mox.
I think
basically just draw a card.
You just bounce your Mox so that you have the opportunity to, say, brainstorm it away or something.
So the hand is
Balance.
That's
Okay, balance doesn't do anything to the planeswalkers, so there's that. But you've got 2 Moxen, balance, Yorg Will, and...
Yeah, it's a very mana... Oh, that... I mean, you can see how strong the Narset is. If he didn't have Narset, this would be a pretty incredible Yawgmoth's turn, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'd be able to fire off a whole bunch of those...
yeah, there's the graveyard right there. How, we keep talking about this, but, the recent restriction means that for the blue decks, for the most part, you're just going down and switching your free mental misstep, very specific counterspells for free, into more flexible counterspells for 1 mana, or more flexible interaction for 1 mana, like Thoughtseize. But the fact that Narset wasn't restricted in that recent update means that, are you expecting a lot more Narset?
Narset's definitely powerful. I don't know if it's Busteroonies, though.
I think it almost certainly is Busteroonies.
Okay.
Given that all the decks are playing between 2 and 4 of them.
I'm playing 0.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're
a bit
of a combo aficionado.
Well, I can't do this where it just sits on 1 forever, because I inevitably give them a 1/1.
Yes, yeah, true.
For that reason, I don't play any Planeswalkers at all.
It was a pretty slow burn before Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time were actually restricted. It took a fair few months until the power was seen, and then went...
I don't think it took that long, but it took longer than...
months,
it took long... Well, that's not that long.
In the grand scheme of vintage.
It definitely felt like a long time.
And, now you're finally have the opportunity to kill it.
I know.
And it feels bad, doesn't it?
It does. But I guess I get to Yawgmoth's trophy, the Teferi. Not that Teferi's even doing heaps, but this is more just a switch on my own Yawgmoth's will.
Yeah.
Now I get to finally preordain, although Yawgmoth's now is ironically not as good because I've just tapped 3. So I'll probably have to, I've got Moxen, but I'll probably just have to... Ooh, I can play Balance.
And balance away his lands.
Well, I could...
and cards.
Arguably next turn I can go Balance Yawgmoth's will. Okay, I found Yawgmoth's. Found Oath of Druids.
Yep. So, two tokens means you're going to go down to 13, but then you're going to stabilize.
That's right.
Very, very easily.
And I've got a Yawgmoth's backup that if he's able to spot remove this, I can do it all again.
Yep. Yawgmoth's will is powerhouse. Powerhouse card.
Yeah, you can see why it's worth 3 points in Highlander, can't you?
It's actually worth 3 points in Highlander because of Storm.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a powerful card.
Yeah. At 2 points in Highlander, it might not even see play outside of Storm.
It's so brutal to be interacting with decks and destroying all their Moxens and
you feel so good 1-for-1. Kill these things.
You counter their thing that they cracked a Black Lotus for, and then they just Yawgmoths and they get it all back.
Comes back. All right, here we go. Here comes Grizzle Dad,
the Big Daddy.
The Grizz Father has arrived.
Yeah, and I don't know how easily Control can beat a 7/7 Flying Demon.
Well, the fact that Teferi went straight down on the first turn it came out meant that Raj wasn't feeling like he was under pressure or in danger. Whereas if you felt like you're really, really in danger of potentially, top deck Oath, you'd go up with Teferi and leave the opportunity to bounce something.
Yeah, well, you're right. He's got the swords, but maybe did he just want to draw a card and get value off Teferi immediately? He's got swords.
Yeah. So he's got the swords for that.
And now he's saying...
And now he's responding to...
Yeah, okay. So he's swords. So I've got Yawgmoths on the stack. He casts Swords to Plowshares in response. I draw 7 in response. He Fluster Storms
the Yawgmoth
in response
to you drawing 7, so you can't draw a Fluster Storm or something.
That's right.
Yep, that seems fair.
It is very fair, but I still get my 7,
rough.
and I'm pretty happy with this.
Well, all you need is a counterspell for the Swords to Plowshares, and you're golden. But if you you can't counterspell it because it's Teferi. So actually, your Grizzlebrand's going bye-bye.
It is going well.
Yeah, but then you can trigger your Oath again the next turn.
Yeah. Although I think I've used now Regrowth, Time Walk, and Memory's Journey Flashback and Yawgmoths. So there's no way. There's no way I can Time Walk again. Mind you, in Vintage, having a free Demonic Tutor is always good.
And your opponent being on 6, and you can just turn your Grizzle.
But I can't do my cute little combo thing.
Yeah, you can't go off on that one turn.
That's right. But usually, just Runescarred, find a Force of Will, or Runescarred, find an Assassin's Trophy. is usually enough.
Yep.
You know, or whatever, ancestral recall or something. So, but you can get in a scary. He's got 3 Source of Plowshares, and I literally can't win, right? I have no other win conditions other than my 3 creatures.
Yeah.
There's no power left in the deck.
So true. So the rest of the deck is just chaff.
It is.
I'm just going to turn this Runescarred Demon sideways.
I had a Creeping Tar Pit in my deck for like a very short while, just because I was...
For this kind of situation, right?
Yeah. And I think I also had a Tendrils in my deck at one point for something similar, but...
I felt a bit with more.
Yeah, and just as I said, it's a combo-heavy deck. If they can interact that much, then good on you.
Yep.
I think I'm pretty happy here, though. It's similar to the last game where they interact with it, but they can't stop the inevitability.
Yeah, like you think about the best case scenario where Raj draws a Time Walk. He Time Walks so that his Teferi gets an additional counter so that he's able to bounce the Oath, attack with his tokens 2 times, so you go to 7. But then you still play the Oath, and like you've got that inevitability. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he needs mentor. He needs mentor Time Walk here, and that'll get you. Because he'll be able to make a bunch of tokens, bounce your Oath because the Teferi will have an extra counter, and then be able to kind of go to town before you can actually win off the Oath. That's basically the only thing I can see happening.
Yeah, and now I can't quite remember my hand. It is balance, so I've even got that as just a fallback if the tokens get out of hand.
True, and you're just mainly thinking about what to discard here, right? Because you've been playing out Moxen just even into Nullrod because you're going, well, may as well, right?
Yeah,
because
that's it.
You're going to be discarding them anyway.
Treasure Cruise.
Treasure Cruise.
Don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe a Toxic Deluge. Maybe a Force of Will. Maybe a second Oath.
I think a Force of Will is bad here, obviously, with Teferi.
I'll play that.
Yeah, but maybe
Trophy.
A Trophy, yes.
Trophy and Force.
Yep, I can see that. Either way, it's a, hey, why not? Why not draw 3 cards? I guess actually the why not is you've given him an extra token. So when he does draw Time Walk here, he's going to attack you for 8.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't like living in fear. I spent a long time playing Oath, living in fear of dying to my own tokens, in trying to play like a control role, a card advantage role, and I'm done with that life.
Yep. Fair enough.
Second Oath.
The 2 Oaths, the redundancy of the Oath is pretty insane here. That one line we were talking about getting out, with bouncing one of the Oaths after a Time Walk, is just gone now.
That's right. And you get 2 Demonic Tutors, assuming you're going to trigger it twice.
Yep. There's 1 Runescarred Demon. You get to tutor out a... Oh, you elected only to activate it once.
I've still got... No.
Because what was the card that
you
put in?
No.
Because you put a card in your hand just there? Was that...
No, that was Strip Mine. I revealed Strip Mine, and then I accidentally put it on top of my library, and I was like, oh, that goes to graveyard.
Oh, okay.
So Strip Mine's in the graveyard. Runescarred Demon triggers on the stack. Oath of Druids trigger is still on the stack.
Sorry, the cards in front of you right there are your graveyard. Because what I thought when you put it on the table there, I thought that was your hand. But in reality,
it was revealed.
In reality, your graveyard is an L shape. Yeah. That's why. Okay, so for those at home, Beckett has this thing where he lines his graveyard up and he never rearranges it. It just keeps going, and it's like a game of Snake, where it just keeps going along the table in a different direction and just hopefully doesn't cross over itself.
Yeah, don't cross the streams.
Exactly.
So I find that I think I found Trophy off for Runescarred Demon, and
sure, why not?
Now I just switches on my Force of Wills.
Yeah.
And I didn't elect to hit Runescarred. I probably would be fine, but on the off chance Runescarred's like the last or second to last,
that would be bad way to lose.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and because I don't have Memories Journeys to back up, I'm pretty sure I can get there off 1 Runescarred. And if he has another Source of Plowshares, I've still got the Runescarred in the bin, in the deck.
Yeah. So if he does have Swords of Plowshares here, you Force of Will it, you give him another couple of tokens. He attacks into the Runescarred just to deal you 4 damage. You go to 4. And then he'll have lethal the following turn, but it still won't be enough for you to
Gush is pretty good there, and I think it's good enough that I actually force pitching a call. Surely not. That's what it looked like, right?
And that's a flex. It's a weird flex, but it's a flex.
Force pitching a call. You know what? I think maybe I just got a lot of Force of Wills, and what's the point of...
You just want to keep the forces.
Instead of knowing like, ooh, I'll try to draw more blue cards, I might as well... I've got it. I've got like 3 forces, and I know I can win with 3 forces. Check
out the rest of your graveyard. There's a dig through time there in the graveyard, but it's all the way, almost to the other side, the Adelaide side of the playmat.
And that's a scoop.
Yeah, yep, that's fair.
Yeah, force pitching ankle is a flex. Pretty happy with that one.
It's a weird flex, but okay.
With like 10 mana as well. I probably could have just hardcast force.
Then you give him tokens, and maybe he's going to time walk and you die. That'd be a bad way to die. So let's have a look at the sideboards. So for Raj coming in, he could bring in. Look, the Stony Silence did work that game, but it's really not that good against you. It doesn't. So he's not going to bring in Stony Silence. And he, people. I bet people will try to bring in Ravenous Trap against you as this kind of, I can try and get you. And if things line up exactly perfectly, it doesn't even get you. You've still got your 6/6 demon out, and the fact that you couldn't shuffle something into your graveyard, into your library, or leverage your Yawgmoth Will or something is largely irrelevant. You're still just going to beat.
It's still pretty hard to, and I don't have to DT for my cute little thing. I can just DT for whatever I want. Zero mana Demotic Tutor in Vintage is very, very powerful. Regardless of what deck you're playing.
Yep.
I think Fragmentize is probably the only really good one.
Pithing Needle.
Maybe Ashiok? I don't know.
Ashiok, maybe that's it. Just those three.
I don't think Ashiok's amazing, but it's a fun new card.
Ashiok is surprisingly good in Vintage and Legacy at the moment, solely because against various combo decks, it just turns off tutors. So here's what you're thinking. Oh, Sylvan Library, nice. Yep, so you're thinking about... Oh, wait, that's coming in. No, that's going out.
Yeah, so I'm taking out Mindbreak Trap, Imperial Seal.
Yeah.
Something else.
So the card disadvantage type cards and the very specific anti-combo cards are going out.
Yeah.
And in you're coming the grind. Like, Sylvan Library is a good grind card.
Yeah, Flusterstorm is in. I usually always bring Abrupt Decay in one trophy because I assume that they bring in Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah, they're bringing some kind of hate, right?
Yeah, so...
Pieces of hate are really hard to get.
And he's got, 3 mana Planeswalkers that I want to spot remove and Mentor. So I inevitably always bring in those two pieces. And then, I've got 2 bits for control, which is what he's on. So,
and you've obviously seen, since round 1,
Lotus
how much
Petals
Narset...
take out.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep.
How much Narset has had an effect on your games. It's just come out and it's just stayed there. So
I've had to remove it. It feels awful, but I've had to.
Yeah, so having that extra Abrupt Decay effect just means, hey, okay, you get 1 activation out of Narset. This is card disadvantage for me, but I have to kill it so I can turn on my Preordains.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was your sideboard strategy. So for Raj, things that are bad against you, he's on the play, so you keep in all your Lavinias. Lavinias are so good on the play. On the draw...
He's got Mainboard Containment Priest as well.
Yeah, I like it. Cheeky little Containment Priest. I'm really a big fan of Containment Priest. Just in these kind of Esper Red, and Jeskai control decks. Because how often do you just kind of go, I'm just going to chuck out a 2/2 and just turn it sideways? It's pretty often in control mirrors where you end up winning your game because of a Snapcaster Mage. The flexibility of it is nothing to sneeze at, because you bring it against Dredge, you bring it in against Tinker, you bring it in against Oath. But it can also serve a useful role. So you've got a Grizzlebrand in hand.
Yeah, and a Lotus.
What do you do when you've got a monster in your hand?
That's why I have Show and Tell in the deck.
Yeah.
Because you've only got 1 Brainstorm in this format. It can be really awkward. But I've got a fair amount of tutors. I can still play Oath of Druids and trigger and still get my monster. So my main combo plan doesn't actually fail. Although it is like a multi-6, but I get the opportunity to be able to search for or dig for Show and Tell, and then just win with the Show and Tell, and it makes that Grizzlebrand in hand really, really good. And you saw in game 1, no spoilers, I'm able to deploy Show and Tell. So yeah, that's really why Show and Tell's in the deck, to be honest.
Yeah, round 1, the round 1 Show and Tell was really impressive. I like that Show and Tell operating as a Oath number 5 in a very specific circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very powerful card. We don't see it in Vintage, and I don't think it's good enough. It's a bit awkward because sometimes they've got Blightsteel or Bolus's Citadel or something. It's expensive against shops, but it's a really powerful card and it needs to be respected.
What did you VT for here?
Let's probably say Show and Tell.
Oath, yeah. Is it almost the baits? You wouldn't VT for a bait spell. That feels bad. It's just double. Yeah, nice. So you tap for green, and then just use it to play out 2 very powerful green enchantments that can't
and
be
I
blasted.
play the. He's not playing Days, I know.
No, he doesn't play Pyroblast either.
So I know I can. So I play the Oath of Druids, and then I don't show that I've got the Forbidden Orchid yet. Orchard.
Yep.
What's an orchid?
An orchid is a kind of flower.
It's a flower. Yeah, I should know that. I should know that.
You should know.
Should have known that, guys. Sorry.
Your partner's going to be.
I think,
why do you not know this? You know,
I think Drew and I were talking about flowers the last time we commentated together.
Oh, really?
Could have been about
a floral theme going on. So we could get your partner to make the flowers for Adelaide Eternal.
So he's fragged my Oath. I've still got Sylvan Library, which I'm pretty chuffed about. And
you know what he actually destroyed it with? Talk about Blast from the Past. Actual white border disenchant.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't mind disenchant.
Yeah, I think disenchant's really good, but frag is probably the thing that disenchant you use because in control matches you can do it at the end of their turn. But
I think the thing with disenchant is that
the times you want to use it are when your mana hamstrung, like against shops,
or you're playing a mental thing, and if you're trying to disenchant something massive like Bolus or Citadel, you've probably already lost.
Yeah, exactly. So you've given him a token in order to
redeploy the Sylvan.
Yep.
No point trophying the Teferi right now because I don't have any instants I want to play. Upticking his Teferi doesn't give him any card advantage, so there's no real rush. The Sylvan Library is pretty bad against Narset, I'll admit. Although it is generally good against control, and it's really good for if I know I don't have any monsters left and I flip my whole bin, then I can Memory's Journey back 3 cards, and then Sylvan will draw me those 3 cards, so I get to guarantee that I find the card that I want.
Love it.
Which is why it's just sort of like Sensei's Divining Top.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think I added over Sensei's because it's green, and I've got 3 Force Figures now. So
yeah, and there's no mana investment, which is something that for a deck with these orchards, when you have to tap a mana to activate Sensei's Divining Top, and sometimes you have to make the decision between giving them a 1/1 and not activating top, you have to often not activate
that's
top.
Right.
So yeah, it does put a strain on your mana.
So Lavinia is pretty strong.
Yeah, Lavinia is very, very one-sided. Quite by definition, it's one-sided. You can still play your Force of Will. You can still play your, Lotus Petal and those types of things. Which is
it switches off my dig through time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have Trophy. But it feels so bad. It's like trophy this like pretty decent Lavinia or trophy this like pretty decent Teferi. None of them are like game winning by themselves.
Yeah, and you think you can play through them, but then maybe they're gaining some incremental advantage.
That's exactly right.
And when you do it, you're going to have to give them a token in the process, and that's not fun.
But hopefully I can get a good trigger off my
Fragmentize.
Sylvan Library.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, I'm afraid. So you've never been able to trigger the Sylvan Library at all this game?
No, because it got bounced.
Wow. Yep. So Raj doing
good work. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, he's doing good work of just tempoing you, of just going, I'm just not going to let you activate this. I'm not going to let you...
What was that? I did like...
You had Lotus, Oath, Sylvan turn. That's great. That's a great turn.
It was a great turn. I deserve to win.
So his mental misstep on your preordain.
I know, it's
leaving
brutal,
you with
isn't it?
not much at all.
Yeah.
This is...
And I have to do this now because of Teferi.
Oh,
So I have to give him the 2/1/1s immediately, and I've got to decide between Teferi and Lavinia. It's pretty rough.
The correct answer is neither.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't give him 2 tokens.
But I want to dig through time because my hand's not good.
Yeah, so you have to
So
dig through time.
I want to hit Lavinia.
Yep.
And then dig through time next
So
turn.
basically...
I've got to go for it, right? I can't just sit here forever.
Assassin's Trophy reads, in this instance, it read, turn off Lavinia's ability.
Yeah.
Right. Technically you've just given him the same amount of power. It's
Draw dig
really
through
rough.
time, basically.
Yeah. Don't even draw. It says, you may now play your dig through time.
You may now play your dig through time. Yeah.
Oh no, here's Narset. Narset. Good thing the Sylvan Library is not on the battlefield because then you can't make the mistake of triggering a Sylvan Library when Narset is out. Have you ever been in the situation of watching someone? Right? No, when
you're not allowed to. Oh, you have to.
Well, if let's say that your opponent goes, I'd like to use my Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
And then you go, You can only draw one card. Okay. Now that one card that you drew, pay 4 life.
No, it surely doesn't work like that. I'd like to see how that works on Moto.
You just elect not to do it. Everyone would like to see how Sylvan Library even works in general. It's just a ridiculously worded, confusing card that in this day and age would not be that way. Draw it, keep your hands separate. All the cards that you've drawn this turn, like if you brainstormed in your upkeep, no thanks, in your real phase. So Narset's got the full dig through time value. It's just
and Kambar's out. He's got some pressure.
Yeah, that's it.
And
shuffle him up. Yeah,
because even if I dig there, I think I'd just die.
That was basically mono hate pieces. Just all hate pieces.
It did play a lot like a tempo game, didn't
it? Yeah. Feels like Esper tempo, Esper hate bears, in a way.
Interestingly, he kept in Kambal. I'm wondering if he sided out swords, because swords are this one where, like I was saying before, he can actually he's got 3 swords. If he's able to resolve all 3 swords and all 3 demons, I cannot win.
It's usually just very hard to do that.
But it's very hard to do that because if I've done that, I've usually stabilised. So I think it's correct to take out the swords. Yeah. I think it's correct. But you're either going to go hard or go home. I think if you're playing 4 swords and like 4 misstep and, like plenty of other counters and that's your game strategy, you'd have to devote yourself to it. But otherwise, I think you trim.
Yeah, you operate... whenever I play white in Vintage... against Oath, you operate so much better with the prevention is better than cure philosophy. Because if you're trying to deal with it once it's already happened, it's just worse than filling your deck with as many fragmentizers, disenchants, and containment priests as possible, and counter spells, so that you can just stop that Oath from ever coming out.
And stop fair enough too. Who wants to verse a 7/7 flying lifelink?
Pass. Hard pass on that.
Like, it's not an easy card to beat.
So this is the new 7.
Yeah, and another trophy.
I can just vaguely see. Is that Assassin's Trophy on the far right? Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
I play like 4 trophy basically. It's 3 trophy, 1 decay.
Yep.
But post board, I've got like a play set.
All right. So you got an Ancestral Recall Regrowth hand that's just never ship awayable, right?
Yeah.
You're just totally going to.
Echo, Regrowth, Force, Misstep, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy land.
That just seems great.
The only thing wrong with it is obviously...
second land that's not Orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no Oath.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we can't have everything.
You literally can't.
You can't have everything. I have all 60 cards. The A-Call itself is representing an Oath. Like, it's representing whatever you want it to be. So,
I suppose so.
That's...
But I got to burn my hand down. I got to find a land because then I might even be discarding to hand size, right?
Savage.
There's potential for it to go awkward.
Yeah.
Sorry, Orchard.
Yeah. It's a very Orchard game. So
this is upkeep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I've still got Misstep and Force and hopefully another blue card because I'll want to use my Misstep for 1-drops.
Yep.
There it is. That's a beautiful thing.
You just go, I want to empty my hand.
That's right.
You get rid of it.
There is something to be said for not preordaining, assuming that they're going to hit. I mean, not in today's meta anymore, but, in this meta, to just say, you want to get rid of your hand desperately, that's easier said than done in Vintage, unless you've got Moxes.
Yeah,
hard pass, and now I have to discard
at least 1 card, sometimes 2, and then they just can recoup that tempo that they lost by the card advantage that they gained. Pseudo card, not really card advantage. Not card disadvantage is what we say.
Yeah.
So, look, he started off... is this another no other land hand? No. Okay, he's got ample. He's got ample sources of mana.
And just for those at home, if you'll notice, when you've got A-Call with that discard, all you have to do is be on the play and just play 1 other spell, i.e. a Mox or a Misstep or something, and you're not going to discard to hand size if you do that tactic.
I think that if I was in Raj's seat, I would have strip mined your Orchard in that instance. Because you have a full hand of 7, and you're going to have trouble deploying all of those cards. You might go to discard. Stripping your Orchard says, do you want to give me another token? you go, I definitely don't want to give you another token or more of a clock, and then it gives him an out.
Do you mean in response to regrowth?
No, before, when he played the strip mine on
his
turn.
Then in that case, I would keep the orchard so that they have to keep giving you 1/1s, and I'd strip the trop.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
People always do that. They strip and waste my orchards when they've already got 1/1s.
Strip the
because they go, that's the best card. That's the combo card. But once you've got the 1/1, I don't care. And if you leave me with a bunch of orchards, then like it's a pain for me. It's like what you're saying about Sensei Giovanni top. I've got to do I really have to give them a 1/1 just to, just to cast this preordain? Like, come on.
I like it. Oh, I don't know about this.
Ashiok, is it?
Is that Ashiok?
Yeah, it's new Ashiok.
Yeah, I don't know about this other than just why not just strip mine the library?
Yeah, library's pretty good.
I think he might just be worried about not being able to cast spells because he doesn't have another land. But I still think shutting off your library, shutting off an additional card per, after this turn, is better than, because it's not like the Ashiok provides you with an advantage when you untap. You're not going to untap and get more value out of it being untapped, of you being untapped, not like a Jason Mind Sculptor or something.
Yeah, and I go for an Abrupt Decay there. I'm wondering why.
Do you have some kind of surge?
I think I might.
RVT.
I think I might even have Time Walk, and I want to go Time Walk and Yorks or something like that. Or I've got to Dig Through Time or something.
It's really funny that, normally you can just go, oh, okay, well, your thing's on the stack, that's right, I'll just VT in response, that way I can use my search. But VT in response is really bad.
Oh, of course, search.
Yeah, because... Yeah, so you VT in response, and then he activates Ashiok and just mills the thing that you put on top. So
it's a really good point.
So, you actually were forced to Abrupt Decay it.
That's right. I forgot about Ashiok's no search ability.
That's so funny. That it specifically hosed VT that turn. Isn't that funny?
But look how powerful the VT is.
Yeah.
Although I did have to go off library to do that, which is unfortunate. But so again, I'm combo. I'm not control. I wanted to go for it. I've still got card advantage. Forget about I'm still up on cards. I've still got ACOL in my hand. I'm pretty sure.
You're misstepping the Fragmentize on the Oath here, which takes you off library for an additional turn. But it's because you've seen Strip Mine. Is that why you're going? I know it's going to get stripped, so I'm not going to try and. Oh, all right, yep.
Yeah,
so
I've got.
You're just going to always go back up anyway, and you've got Sylvan, so you know that getting rid of it is not a big problem. All right, so you've misstepped the frag, and you've force of willed the disenchant.
Yeah.
And you're probably still on 5 cards now, 6 cards.
Yeah, but
so
forget about the library. I'm an Oath.
You're just protecting.
I'm going to trigger Oath, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, why do we want card advantage stuff? We want card advantage so that we can interact, so that we can deploy threats and interact. I've got enough cards to deploy threats and interact, so I'm just going to do it. I guess that's the logic.
Yep.
I could play the control game with him, but I'm on 8 life as well.
Yeah, that life total definitely changes
things. Relevant. It
is. For sure. So
it's 4 turns, right? And if you're trying to play I'm not going to interact with that spell because I'm going to library, then 4 turns goes by pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have the liberty of just sitting behind your library in this deck as much as the control deck would.
Yeah, and I'm pretty chuffed because I flip Runescarred and not Time Walk. If I flip Time Walk there, then it's like, oh, I've got to get Regrowth. No, wait, Regrowth's in exile. Get Yorgmoss, but then I can only do it once. I see. Time Walk's in there, so that's pretty good. And now I know it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win there because...
Yeah. You can explain to the listeners what your line is here. Because it's basically the same every time once it doesn't flip. If you don't flip a certain thing...
The beautiful thing about my deck is it's not actually like an assured victory because there's 2 Runescards, 1 Griselbrand, so you could just flip the Griselbrand the next turn and not do the thing. But the whole point is Runescarred finds Time Walk, you flip another Runescarred, you find Regrowth, you Regrowth Time Walk, and then you flip Griselbrand, and by that time... you've been drawing and casting other spells, and you can pay 7, and you'll be able to find Yorgmoth's Will or something like that. Or you can Memory's Journey back in the Time Walk to recast it. So there's a lot of ways that you're going to be able to find Time Walk, and you don't need too many Time Walks when you've got 6/6 flyers out. And it's like 90%, 95% that you're going to win.
So going on the same logic that you were saying before of just protecting the combo, why Force of Will the Treasure Cruise? Is there something either uncounterable or maybe some kind of sequence of spells that you can't beat that Treasure Cruise could draw into?
I believe that I'm not. I don't think he's going to be baiting me, and it might be his last card in hand.
Oh, right. In that case, you just do it. Because I can see a logic to just being like, yeah, sure, your cruise resolves. Like, what are you going to draw? Two fragmentizers or something.
So you can see here, I didn't actually hit Runes Guard, so I can't technically do the thing. But Memory's Journey's in the bin now. I've still got plenty of cards. There you go. I've got Treasure Cruise. You know, I could even go down to 1, although that's a bit risky. I could even go down to 1 and try to find, Time Walk again or something for Time Walk.
Yep, that's fair. So at this point, Grizzlebrand's easily able to block a bunch of tokens.
Yeah.
There's not some kind of Monastery Mentor Time Walk line that could get you, because you've got a full hand easily with a Force of Will to prevent any which way they might win. So you pretty much got it locked up. Raj is looking for some pretty
I've still got
bizarre
a full
sequence of
group
cards
as well. I've got a full group.
Oh, well, that's a start for a bizarre sequence of cards, all right? But so you just have to force it because,
I mean,
to do it.
Gosh, unless he's got like
Lotus,
Black Lotus
Mentor.
It's got to be Black Lotus.
Time Walk, Sapphire. That's what his hand is to be.
Because if he's already tapped 3 to deploy this, then I don't think, and I'd rather just kill him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than he now bounces Grizzlebrand and swings me for 2. Let's just get it done. So I brainstormed in response to Teferi because I won't be able to do it otherwise.
Yep. So he forced back, did he?
He forced back.
So he really wants his Teferi.
Yeah. Well, I think he knows his hand won't win.
He knows, yeah.
So
he wants to just kind of bounce Grizzlebrand and then attack for 2, take you to 6, and then look at a Mentor Time Walk turn next turn, being the only line.
He doesn't swing?
I assume he swings. Let's assume he swings and you're on 6, because it's the only way he's going to win, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on 6, what's his out?
Yeah, it's Mentor Time Walk.
So what if Runes Guard was the last card? Because you've only got 2 cards in the deck.
Memory's Journey's in the bin.
Okay, so you're still able to not lose there.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's 1 card left in the deck. Well, I know what it is, but I've got a Memory's Journey. So I'm pretty sure I could even hardcast Grizzlebrand here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But it would give him some 2 tokens, which is fine because he's got Lifelinker.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But what if he A-calls you? And you just ran out of Force of Wills. And you're like, I don't think.
If he A-calls me again, I think Memory's Journey would probably
you still
get the job
shuffle
done.
3 cards in. What if he A-calls you, you misclick, only click 2 cards?
Oh no. And then I accidentally flustered some of my own Memory's Journey.
Yeah, that's right. So look, there are outs. He's got outs. Interesting. So the Abrupt Assassin's Trophy on the Teferi, so you now have counterspells up.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that could have been a... Actually, Memory's Journey isn't an out.
Because of Teferi. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. But yeah, we were thinking about that. Oh, we got an out. Actually, there's this window for him to A-call you, and you go, in response, I'll shuffle these... Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Teferi's out. That's a good point. Then you actually die.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, you're playing to his outs.
A-call you for the win.
That's up there with the Dark Confidant, Blightsteel Colossus triggers, and what other ridiculous ways are there to lose? Others are planning to tutor and tinker for your Blightsteel, but then you draw the Blightsteel on that turn. You're 1 in 45 chance or something, and then you end up losing the game. It's a few ways that you can just lose really, really badly.
Yeah, so I've got 3 cards left. There's only 1 Ashiok Dream Render. Don't really know what his plan is.
Yorg will Ashiok Dream Render target you. Oh, okay. That'd be awkward, right? So he's still playing because there's outs, right? But they're just so slim. They're like 2%.
I don't think he realizes that there's a Memory's Journey.
Okay. So he's still playing to the cheeky A-call you.
I don't think he realizes. I mean, I guess he could counter the Memory's Journey, but it's not like I'm going to trigger Oath again. Because I've got Cruiser Brain in hand.
Could misclick.
And I just show them I've got 2 forces or something. At least 1 force and a Philosopher's Storm, something like that.
Done deal, my friend.
Yep.
Very nice. All right, well that keeps Beckett as the King of the Hill. You're still in centre stage. In round 3, I face you with Khan Shops, that monstrosity that got restricted into oblivion. And we didn't even give it the liberty of commentating on that because who wants to watch that disgusting pile of nonsense?
Well,
anymore?
it's just not...
We just got past that era. Let's not even look at it again.
Yeah, I mean, all these... I think the decks we're showing here can all be changed slightly with Misstep.
They're basically cut 2 Misstep, add
but that deck was
and
solely based on the Mystic Forge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, thankfully, we don't have that monster in the field anymore, and we can go back to playing some Vintage. So... join us in round 4, which is technically round 3. Let's make it round 3. In the next one, and that'll see Beckett Wolfe seeing whether or not he can take home the trophy.
See you then.